Welcome to the General's Gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Dawn of War 2 Elite. It's been at least 6 months.
Has it really?
Well, it's because we didn't cast it since DoW2.
Ah, right, yeah, that moment makes sense.
And DoW2 came out in March. And long story short, DoW2 wasn't very good, so here we are casting Dawn of War 2.
Yeah. Man, I can't believe we didn't get so triggered by Dawn of War 3 at the time that we just went back and casted Dawn of War 2 to kind of recover.
I played a bit of it, Dawn of War 2.
Yeah.
After, like a week after DoW2 because I was trying to think, you know, what was it missing, and there was a lot of little things. Like when you play DoW2 and you look at the Space Marines, how they walk around, and you go, wow, they feel like Space Marines. Because they're very, you know, lumbering and very big and slow. A lot of little things like that. But anyway, let's not spend the whole video ranting about DoW2. I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to see some great Dawn of War 2 games, and just bear with me as I lower that a little bit more because that was loud.
Yeah, it was loud. Quite loud. Crewfinity is going to be spawning in as a Warboss.
And his opponent, the Eldar, will be Angrathus, playing as the Farseer. Crewfinity, one of the top players, we've casted him probably the most out of everyone. The name just sounds so familiar.
Yeah, there certainly are a few staples in the Elite Bot community which cast all the time, because looking at the replays, it's like, oh, Crewfinity, cool. Right, so we know if it's an averagely long game or a decent sized game, we're in for a good time. So. Nice hit on Warboss. Find the squad of the Dire Avengers and force them off. It's actually a pretty good engagement.
He's already blown his special attack though. Very lucky. I was gonna say he's already blown his knockback thing, so the Banshees couldn't engage. But getting a lucky special attack there, so the Banshees couldn't stick around.
Really badly timed special attack as well. Angrathus was like, yes, fantastic melee special attack, as they jump in. Every single model jumps in melee range, so they all get knocked back. That was pretty nasty, but a fairly short retreat distance back to the base, so that's going to be a tick mark.
Yeah,
at the top as well.
This map's interesting because your power is actually kind of far away from your spawn.
Yeah.
So a lot of times your retreats are short, but losing that map presence can be very punishing there for the power in particular, as we could see now. Crewfinity looking for a bit of a gen bash, but there will be no gen bashing here. Maybe some node bashing, but it doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
No, it doesn't. It's much harder to actually damage those nodes. Taking out the gen's much easier. Like, they're not going to have a good time here. Oh, they actually, force the retreat. I suppose just so it's quicker to get towards the power. Angrathus getting at the point where he wants to start adding on some gens, and if he doesn't force off the sluggers and the Warboss, that means he can't add on gens, so I guess that makes sense. Preemptive retreats are nice if your retreat distance is quite long.
Yeah, with a squad like the Sluggers, you have to be at full HP. Really, any melee squad, so important to have them at full health. Sluggers going to be engaging the Banshees as they were knocked down. Grenade comes through. Nice dodge coming out of Crewfinity. Re-engaging back on the Warboss. Another lucky special attack.
Wow.
But here comes the Plasma Grenade. Banshees do have to disengage here. No grenades did connect. Now the Sluggers up about on these double Dire Avengers. So there's going to be a few models going down and then re-engaging back to that node.
And it's nasty. Burners pop out at like the perfect time. Another special attack as the retreat comes through from the Warboss. What are the odds of that? But I mean, Crewfinity's got to be happy with his RNG thus far. But hey, the preemptive retreat on the Farseer is going to actually pay off and could potentially save the node here. It's a negative.
The Farseer doesn't have a lot of damage.
Thinking if she got a knockback, but no, it's a negative. Knockback came through as possible, but Angrathus not really having the luck our man Crewfinity has had thus far.
So it's triple sluggers, slugger. No shooters, very melee heavy, melee heavy. I'm trying to improve myself.
The other power going to be sniped down as well. I mean, it's not a bad build. A couple of sluggers can easily deal with the Banshees, and just double Dire Avenger from Angrathus, so it's actually a nice build.
They have the aspect of fleetness. That's where they get the Exarch gets the double sword and they can jump over things. So this is 2.71. One of the changes I remember was that this increased health from 10% to 15.
Right.
Whereas for comparison, I can't remember, but I'm guessing the aspect of strength is only plus 10%.
Right.
Because really there's not much reason why you would go for the fleetness, if not for that health bonus.
We generally just used to see strength all the time, though.
Yeah,
didn't we?
exactly, because you get that giant power sword,
Yeah.
which does good damage versus vehicles, which is then very important.
That's plasma. Warboss gets knocked back, won't find any more model wipes in a fairly short retreat distance for Angrathus this time. It's actually full gens added on for both of our players now, that Rex being invested. So, gen investing is certainly a possibility now. Where is the Slugger squad with burners? There we go, okay. Nice. Okay, so this is dangerous. The Avengers most definitely going to get forced off again. Fantastic preemptive dodge as well from Crewfinity, no worries. So this should be hunted down. Farseer, all on her to actually save these generators. Other units aren't going to be rotating in time, and the Farseer's even going to be a little bit delayed. So we could see a gen going down before the Farseer even responds. Nope. Slugger's run past. Oopsie.
Okay, well, I only would have got a couple of the flame volleys off. I guess he wants to get his Warboss here. Banshees and the Dire Avengers engaging upon the Sluggers. They're forced to retreat. Farseer has to disengage as well. And now we see the Flamer opening up on those double gens.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. Nice auto attack actually as well from the Warboss. It's going to delay the Farseer's return to the battlefield just a little bit more, but it doesn't look like the Gen Bash is going to be successful with the Howling Banshees closing in. Their aspect of fleetness, the fact they're just leaping over shit for funsies. Both of these squads are going to be forced to back away. Obviously, Crewfinity doesn't want to get counter Gen Bashed if he's forced to retreat. And we get the Dire Avenger shield going down as well in an interesting angle.
Yeah, I love the shield there. It's going to be giving some protection. May actually repair these generators as well. Nice. I always love seeing that. And I wonder what upgrades we'll see once the tier 2 has hit the field. The Farseer, not so strong without any upgrades. Just really reliant on the special attacks.
Yeah, almost entirely. There we go. Burners get a burst off and actually close in. Kind of weird micro, but it's going to work. The Farseer gets forced off. I thought the other squad of Sluggers was going to hold the Farseer in.
Well, that's the use your choppers.
We're going into the Banshees, however, the squad of Dire Avengers actually contributing to this fight. Banshees are going to be backing away while the Dire Avengers are taking some shots up, and you just get a double retreat coming down.
Now, there was actually a red point increase for that. It's now 100
Right.
rather than 75. So I like that because it's such a strong ability.
Yeah.
Pretty much guarantees win that engagement, so I think that cost increase is pretty justified.
Definitely. Will be 3 gens going down for the looks of things, though. I mean, the Farseer's going to be rotating in, but I don't know if it's going to be in time. Especially with the Warboss on zone duty.
Yeah. Well, that's 2 generators down. Third one was repaired, so it will take a little bit longer. We're going for the node instead.
Okay, interesting choice. Cool. So now I'm not sure if the Archon Hawk prediction is going to be correct.
Oh, no, wow, I retreat.
Yeah. No, just a little bit tankier. Force off these Sluggers. That was interesting. Would have been cool if we just saw the node go down and maybe a soft retreat to the north to give a better retreat point.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Weird Boy. Run, Weird Boy, run. Why doesn't he just Fist of Gork and then teleport in and just wipe the Howling Banshees? I don't understand.
Wow, such good damage against those Banshees. Oh man, I'm getting triggered now. The Weird Boy in DoW2 was so broken.
It's the most broken.
They did nerf him eventually, yeah. But like, man. I uninstalled DoW2 and it was 25% because of the Weird Boy. Just insta wiping all my squads.
And I said on the forums, like, yeah, Weird Boy seems a bit OP, and it's like, oh, look, just dodge it. Yeah, just like dodge it, not like play around it, man. And I'm just like, nah, look, I think they're gonna nerf it. As it turns out, yeah, they nerfed it. They nerfed it pretty hard.
Okay, Wraith Lord on the field. Nice little grenade coming down. There's no anti-vehicle just yet. Got the custom shooter on the Warboss, so he doesn't have his big bang hammer.
Not gonna be very useful.
We'll have to see some tank busters come out.
Yeah, the straight up retreat is certainly the way to go. Really nice build order from Angrathus because nothing on the field from Crewfinity can deal with it. Obviously scouted out the Warboss's gear. No way to do with this.
Where is he going?
I have no idea. This is kind of weird.
Okay.
It was odd.
Could have died there if there was another auto there from the
Yeah,
Wraith Lord,
maybe.
and if the Banshee's got a few stabs off.
Certainly a weird play.
Oh, speaking of weird plays, these Dire Avengers could go down.
Yeah. Maybe one more attack from the weird boy. This could do it.
Oh no, he's not
This
dodging
could do it. Oh wow, lucky.
He has 14 health left. He needs to be moving these Dire Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
You shouldn't be able to hit him when he's moving, especially with that fleet of foot.
No, should be fine.
Oh, he's retreating. Okay, he may go down here.
Yeah. Should fall. Should fall. Point blank range. Get him, weird boy. Oh, gets tied up. Nice. Just in time. Very fantastic micro from Angrathus. Good stuff actually keeping the squad alive.
Oh, those Banshees are so outnumbered.
Yeah. They're getting run down as well. They should be okay. Wow. Oh no, the Dire Rangers might actually go down here on the retreat path if they get retargeted, which they're going to be 6 health. It was too late. Ah.
Very, very lucky survive there because needing the double Dire Avengers for the repairs. Repairs in DoW2 are actually quite slow, really, for any faction, so keeping those repairing squads alive is very, very important. And now, what does Angrathus go for here? He needs something against these triple sluggers. This is big blob of orcs. The Wraith Lord is great against that, but when this tank buster's firing at them, it actually swaps to the Power Claw.
Well, okay.
That's the Autark?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god, that is a
that's
nasty combination.
Yeah, it should be the Autark. Because it's like 4 plasma grenades and then the Autark shows up and it's like, hello.
Yeah, and they're locked in place with the gravity blade, so that was a little nice to see. I love how there's so many of those little cute synergies in Dawn of War 2.
Works out very nicely. Excellent micro from Angrathus.
I guess the Autark can just do a lot of disruption. Maybe he dives into the backline of the tank busters.
I'm pretty sure that was the idea, and I was going to suggest something to do with the tank busters is probably the biggest issue. Is just need something to disrupt them and stop them from just DPSing down the Wraith Lord constantly. So, yeah, the Autark makes a lot of sense to me. A lot of disruption there.
And the Wraith Lord can just cleave through the sluggers.
Yeah.
There's the area effect damage, so the Wraith Lord is very, very good versus mass melee.
Looking towards victory points now. 424 for Crewfinity compared to the 349 of Angrathus.
All the sluggers completely on top of those Dire Avengers, but takes a grenade hit.
Weird Boy going to throw them in. The Dire Avengers getting forced off now, but the Weird Boy's not in the ideal position. Wraith Lord already has forced off these sluggers. Is going to find one model wipe. Doesn't really want to chase down the Weird Boy from the looks of things. It's kind of weird. Probably could have forced the Weird Boy to retreat there. I can probably just run away with the tank busters on the field. Where's the Autark? Are we going to see any disruption?
Yeah, he's in the back, uses the lifting up, keeps the Warboss in place, prevents him from engaging the Wraith Lord.
Very nice. Blades coming out there. Tank buster's actually going to be focusing down the Farseer. Incredibly low. The sluggers finish it off. Autark now only going to be coming into the fray. Jumping on the Warboss, trying to get some disruption, but the Power Claw is down. The tank busters are the ones firing, so the Wraith Lord's actually taking a lot of damage here. Okay, there's the retreat coming down for the Warboss. Too much damage from the Autark, which should free up the Autark to dive onto the tank busters.
Okay, the Banshee's flanking around the tank busters. Wraith Lord now in melee of the sluggers. They can't stay there. Autark going to be jumping away, gets the heal back onto the Banshees. The Wraith Lord is getting low, but a Slugger squad gets wiped.
Slugger squads are actually getting forced back to try and keep the tank busters in the fray. Repairs coming down to the Wraith Lord, but it's not enough to save them from the next volley. Last squad of Sluggers is going to be retreating. The Banshees are going to be cutting it down. They're actually going to be suppressed by the base damage. The Weird Boy gets some super cool green stuff on the ground.
The
and the
vomit,
Wraith
I think.
Lord,
Something vomit.
yeah, something vomit. And it seems as though Angrathus is going to be forced off. Incredibly close to getting the double slugger wipe. Really intelligent play from Crewfinity, actually pulling his sluggers to disrupt the Howling Banshee and the Autark, allowing the tank busters to get the last volley off onto the Wraith Lord, and we do see the snipe. Angrathus no longer having that available, and thus really no way to deal with the sluggers.
Yeah, I think Angrathus was looking to trade the double sluggers for the Wraith Lord. Perhaps reading the situation that he couldn't escape. And that's actually a good trade because then you have tank busters that are pretty useless. He's already invested in the Power Claw, which is a good upgrade across the board. But taking out 2 sluggers is such an important core of Crewfinity's army. And if he does trade that out, then Angrathus' infantry can just run all over them. But only trading 1 slugger for the Wraith Lord, definitely not worth it. And now Angrathus is rebuilding the Wraith Lord. Wow.
Wow.
I don't know how I feel about that, because there's still the Tank Blasters in that Power Claw.
Yeah, the situation really hasn't changed. If anything, the Wraith Lord is less relevant, given there was a Slugger wipe. I mean, the Wraith Lord's fantastic because it was dealing with the Sluggers, but there's no longer triple Sluggers. It's only double Sluggers now.
Yeah. The thing is, as well, is Crewfinity hasn't spent the bulk of his power. He hasn't gone for any tier 2 vehicles. And what that means is he could go straight for a looted tank. When he sees this Wraith Lord, he could hard counter that by taking up quickly, going for that Wraith Lord, the loot. No, he already has tier 3.
Has tier
oh
3,
my
dude.
god.
Yeah, looted tank right now. There's been no gen harassment at all on the side of Angrathus. Yeah, he's gonna love this. Crewfinity says, thank you. I'll take a looted tank.
It doesn't have any anti-vehicle apart from that Wraith Lord, which requires the melee range. Farseer doesn't have any anti-vehicle upgrades, like you see from some other heroes. Wraith Lord's pretty overextended, but it looks like the Wraith Lord is backing away now. Looted tank almost done. That's a really big misplay there. Angrathus should have read this situation and go, where's his power being spent?
Yeah.
Maybe he was anticipating there to be the knobs, and in which case the Wraith Lord is a good response, but blindly building that second Wraith Lord, yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, pretty dangerous. So probably one jet will go down before the looted tank responds and pulls over. There goes the first one. So his units are going to be collapsed down on.
Okay, I like how he's going for the soft retreat up north to get a better retreat path, gets the heal as well.
Aspect of fleetness certainly helping out. Zoom, zoom. And they're having a good time jumping over stuff. The
just looks so silly.
Can I just call them parkour banshees every time I see the aspect of fleetness upgrades? So.
I suppose.
Thanks, dude. I
Well,
appreciate that.
The Bright Lance, not enough to 1v1 the looted tank, but it can make a difference.
Yeah, it's going to help out a little bit. I mean, he needs something at least until we can get another form of response. Could have locked Angrathus out of tier 3 entirely, though, having to spend the power.
Wow, Rox gets thrown down. That's zoning, or actually forces the Dire Avengers to engage. Wraith Lord going to be in melee range as well. Looted tank firing upon it. Oh man, this is devastation. We've already seen one Dire Avenger squad go down. The second one barely escapes.
Yeah, the other one's really low. We actually see the looted tank getting up a little bit closer. Of course, the Bright Lance not facing the correct direction. So this Wraith Lord is going to be in a lot of trouble now. The power claw's up nice and close and personal. Now the Bright Lance is starting to fire. There's the Vomit coming out as well.
Well, there's also the Warboss chasing after this Wraith Lord, so it should be the Wraith Lord going down. But the Bright Lance is firing at this looted tank, so it could be the trade.
Yeah, which would definitely go in the favor of Angrathus. He's going to be happy with that. The looted tank's just been too far in range. If he takes another auto attack, he's in serious trouble. No, that's going to be a mistake.
Out of control. Looted tank is destroyed, and the Wraith Lord is traded out. Definitely could have been played better from Crewfinity if he just kept kiting. Didn't get that auto attack, he would have survived, but it is kind of hard to micro that because it's really easy to stuff it up and then rotate around, give you rear armor. The Bright Lance does double damage. But yeah, it could have been played better.
Yeah, definitely a miss micro, and he took a lot of auto attacks there, at least 3 on the way back. Should have just microed better. I mean, there's no excuse for taking that many auto attacks.
Perhaps he was microing his infantry, because he did lose another squad of slugs there. I believe it's to the Farseer and the Wraith Lord combined.
Yeah, but I feel like keeping the looter tank alive is worth losing those infantry squads in that situation. Having the looter tank is a huge issue with Angrathus still not having any anti-vehicle in his arsenal, especially with the Wraith Lord actually going down, which frees him up to take into tier 3, which we're seeing now.
Farseer in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, really wants this Farseer wipe. I mean, Crewfinity's been going ham for the Farseer wipe.
Wartugs joined the fight. The Warboss isn't here, so it makes a pretty big difference.
Run away. Jumping out, retreating away. So what did we see built from Crewfinity? Crewfinity went for Commandos. Okay. Oh, it was Commandos. Okay. Did see them in combat. I just missed them.
I think they've only been there recently.
Unit recognition is just not there. Having passed Dawn of War for a little while.
Yeah. Well, also I think Commandos aren't in the base game, or rather, you can't build them from tier 3. They're only on the Commando knob as a call-in. So there's a few squads like that. There's also, I think, you get flash kits as well. So there's a couple of those new squads that takes you a bit to sort of wrap your head around if you haven't played a lot of Elite. So well, another lost these Dire Avengers. Yeah. So the commandos, I think the main deal is they have the knockback. They have this huge knockback area. And that's really good versus Banshees, versus the Autarch, the Farseer. But it is the Seer Council. Those are a very deadly squad. They're also great versus the Knobs.
No retreat coming down from the Warboss. That's really late. Should have been straight after the knockback.
Thought they retreated. Yeah.
Yeah, oopsie daisies.
These things happen.
Yeah, especially if you get interrupted when hitting retreat, and then you think you hit retreat, but it really didn't actually go through for whatever reason.
Okay, that was a really good disengage with the Banshees. Then re-engages could even be a wipe here. Seer Council, Banshees, I don't know where the Autarch is. There's the Farseer.
That's brutal.
But still not much melee damage there, mainly relying on these abilities.
What does the Farseer have access to now? We see the Gravity Blades had for ages.
Temporarily reduces damage taken by an allied unit, also increases health and health regen, Runes of Reaping, reduces cooldowns. Okay, so it's just a lot of Gravity Blades, which has been very effective so far.
Yeah, really, really effective use of that.
Okay, there's the infiltration as well.
Guide as well.
I guess there's no Dire Avengers, so there's no Autarchs there for the detection, no Rangers either, so there's no stealth detection. As we can see, knockback pretty effective, but the Autarch now going to be disrupting them.
Yeah, it gets tied up instantly. With those two squads, they're really not an option. I mean, the Weird Boy for disruption as well, so plenty of knockback. Seer Council actually takes a lot of damage. Still chilling in Vomit.
How often can you say that?
Not often. See the rebuild back into blue to tank, which seems like the right option.
Seer Council, you shouldn't. When a squad is that low, that's when you start dropping models. And when it's a squad as expensive as the Seer Council, you don't want to start dropping models because it costs a lot of power to reinforce, a lot of requisition. Once again, the Gravity Blade getting a nice knock up on all the sluggers. The Howling Banshees are there, but they're pretty wounded, so they have to retreat. Actually building an Avatar.
Actually much less follow-up this time from the Gravity Blade, so it's not really going to work out, and we do see a mass retreat coming in. It's not too late in the game for gen bashing. Angrathus isn't in a fantastic power situation with the Avatar being built. That's kind of talk about all eggs in one basket.
Yeah. Well, the Avatar is interesting because the Avatar isn't the super giant attack move into your base and kill your unit that you see in like the Land Raider or the Baneblade. It's more of a support unit, gives auras to infantry, it has some pretty nasty abilities, but you can dodge them. It's mainly just about that aura. It can get kited, it has a lot of health though, but not a lot of anti-vehicle. There's still the tank buster, still the looted tank, but the Avatar is very, very strong in terms of being tough, not getting focused down quickly.
Could work out. Big power play here for Crewfinity, not a lot in terms of wreck. Red's looking okay, about the same for Angrathus. Already seen one usage of the rocks this game. Maybe this isn't the smartest play. This is like right before the Avatar's gonna hit the field, like as the Avatar's like building.
Well, he forces a few squads off, forces the tank busters off, which will help. Wrapping around for the looted tank. The Avatar's on the field, 5,600 health. Seer Council there as well. That's one of his abilities. Is dodge though, nice.
Stuff. Not as bad as I thought. Actually pans out very nicely, and all the power going down. Not a big issue for Crewfinity. He's currently floating 280, but it will be difficult to replace that given his low on requisition.
Once again, using the choppers forces the Banshees to disengage. And I'm so glad they increased the cost of that ability.
Yeah. I'm not mad.
Apparently there was a lot of things really bad in this patch. A lot of people are upset about various things, but I certainly don't think the choppers is one of them. Or at least I hope not.
Yeah, VP getting captured back, looking towards them. 172 for Crewfinity, 253 for Angrathus, so Crewfinity actually in the worst position. Despite what I'd say is probably having an advantage during the mid game in terms of his unit composition and how he's playing. It's a really big boon that Angrathus managed to trade the Wraith Lord for that looted tank, otherwise it would have been in a much worse position, especially in terms of BPs.
Oh, that Autarch's really low. He could go down. But at the same time, the Warboss actually will go down first. Meanwhile, up here, Fire Dragon's being chased down by the Sluggers. They have the swap ability, so they're taking a lot less damage, but still knocked back. The Avatar using one of his abilities. I think that knocks does damage to units around him, but the Sluggers weren't within range. Still could go down. Sea Council's popping the fleet of foot, but they already have escaped. Avatar actually taking some damage, and does force the retreat with one of his abilities.
We actually see the wipe coming through as well. The Howling Banshees cut off the retreat path from those.
Oh, the Sluggers. Wow.
Yeah.
So there's no Sluggers left.
No.
I don't know what this is. Oh, that's the Eldritch Storm? Wow, wanted to cut off the retreat of this looted tank.
Yeah.
I guess it'll work, but can he actually wipe it?
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe with one of the Avatar auto attacks, but it didn't actually come through, and now there's not really much follow-up from the Sea Council. We don't have familiar foot anymore, so the looted tank's actually going to be fine here. Okay. That's unfortunate.
I guess he wasn't expecting Crewfinity to actually change his retreat path. So that was good. He still has that one alive, still able to do some pot shots at this Avatar. Keeping this Avatar down at low health would be really good for Crewfinity. Like, I don't know if this is the right play. Let's see if he actually dodges this one, though.
Probably not, no, he's still going to get hit.
Oh,
I mean,
my
the retreat comes through, he still wipes a couple models. I mean, that's about it. We're the best play the Avatar could have made in that scenario. He doesn't really want to get hunted down by tank busters and take additional volleys when he doesn't need to. Yeah,
meanwhile, we do have full power income for Angrathus. He has the double VPs at the moment. Or rather, he only had one VP. Okay, so in a situation like that, stalling is good, but I guess without that VP, then never mind.
Crewfinity's in a really awkward position. I mean, he's got the power to invest in kind of one more unit after this, and just in terms of requisition, so he invest in one more unit, right? But at that point, you know, he's got no power income, so he's going to be really starved for power. He's going to have to reinvest the requisition that direction. And we're a long way into this game. He's down to 172 VPs compared to the 240 bank control. I mean, if he was down to 100, it'd be like, okay, yeah, no worries. I can't reinvest in power at this point. I've just got to use the unit composition that I have. But 172, it's just like, is this the point where you try and stall out and reinvest in power income? I'm just not sure.
Okay, Avatar actually healing pretty quickly from his base, not needing the Guardians or the Dire Avengers to repair. I don't even know if you can repair. Maybe you can't. So Avatar, yeah, he's looking almost full HP. Banshees have to be careful now as there are knobs on the field. Nice dodge once again.
Yeah, it's one ability down. The Avatar's going to back away very intelligently, no longer having the knockback available for the knobs. Really doesn't want to take that engagement.
So the Fire Dragons also should have pretty good damage versus the knobs, as long as they can prevent being all-in. Oh, Farseer, what are you doing, bro?
Knockback fails from the weird boy.
I guess that
nice
red thing is Fortune.
Yeah.
The damage reduction.
Yeah.
Really saving that for the Sea Council would be ideal. Banshees, at least.
Yeah.
So like the Apothecary, you don't want to heal yourself.
They're smart. The Avatar's actually rotated back to the middle now, and the knobs have pulled away to that top victory point. Obviously, it's important that Crewfinity stops the VP stall. So that's actually a really intelligent move by Angrathus pushing in with his limited amount of units. Knows that the knobs are busy, and this little tank's gonna get caught!
Rear armor hit too, so he gets extra damage there. He's only one shot away from dying. He's near the edge of the map. It gets very hard to kite this. Tank busters are there, but the Avatar could just go for them instead. Not a lot of room to dodge. So he forces him to dodge both looted tank and the tank busters. But once again, really good responses from Crewfinity. Doesn't lose his tank, doesn't lose his tank busters. He's always making sure the Avatar isn't connecting these deadly abilities.
Yeah, Avatar's actually going to be collapsed upon now as well. Warboss actually gets inside melee range. Going to be dodging away from the knobs as much as possible. So the knobs are okay at the moment, but the hunt continues. Really wanting to kill this Avatar. It's down on 1400 health. It is quite low. Pretty sure it survives here. Looted tank's very low on the chase as well.
So, oh, okay. I don't know what that is. Fire Prism is being built. Banshee's retreating, so they didn't do much. There's a problem not having that aspect of strength. It doesn't pose as much of a threat to this tank. Where normally the Banshee Exarch could kill that only a few hits. Especially if the rear arm is exposed.
Avatar survives quite handily, no issues. And the VP is still kicking in the favor of Angrathus this entire time. So still out working. 240 compared to the 102 of Crewfinity is going to be quite close to maxed out.
It's very important that Angrathus has the VP lead, because that allows him to just keep regenerating this avatar. Whereas if it was Angrathus who needs to go out and actively take these VPs, then the avatar's going to have to constantly leave the base with no health. Fire Prism rather has found this looted tank. Don't know if he has vision though. Let's walk to his, oh, he actually killed it there. Didn't have that fully repaired. Fire Prism very weak in an upfront fight though. Rear armor's exposed now. Could go down very quickly. Tank Buster's there. No, what was that? The Commando fighter rocket.
Pretty sure
Oh my
that's
god.
what the Lutex actually going to try and hunt this one down. It might be enough. That Fire Prism is incredibly low, down to 48 health, but the Looter Tank isn't going to be able to close in range in time. The Avatar has regen, will force the Looter Tank to back out of this engagement.
Man, I'm just confused. Was there the Tank Busters there?
I don't know whether the Looter Tank took a shot at the same time.
But look at this. So the Commando Knob has a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
So there's definitely several rocket launchers there. It's going to make this Fire Prism very hard to use. They traded one of the Looter Tanks out for nothing, so that's great play. Having to, of course, build the Dire Avengers, though, for the repairs. I think he's looking pretty good here.
Yeah, Crewfinity has a VP lead for the moment, ticking a few more down. 200 is a lot to tick. Even if he takes a winning engagement.
He's going to retreat out in time.
Oh,
well, knocks him back.
nasty.
That allows the Seer Council to continue to hack about these knobs. Could even drop a few, maybe even the squad. That was the knob that went down. Oh my god. That's such good synergy.
That was perfectly played. I'm very impressed.
Uses the Gravity Blade in combination with the Avatar, in combination with his ability in particular. Seer Council is there as well. Man, that Gravity Blade has been such the real MVP.
Yeah, for sure.
For Angrathus Farseer. Level 6 Farseer, but level 9 Warboss.
That was pretty impressive. Whoa. Jeez. Oh, that was nasty. It was the fact that the knob got wiped, like right at the front as well, and the Seer Council managed to collapse on it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The knob leader, yeah. They're all knobs.
Yeah. The bigger knob of the knobs.
Yeah.
I am big knob.
I don't know what he's called actually. I think it's knob leader or something.
I would just call myself bigger knob if I was the knob leader.
Maybe it is.
That works.
Wow, these commandos are able to stealth up so cool. Is he
Trying to
looking
get
for
the
the Fire Prism?
Yeah,
Oh my
definitely,
god.
Absolutely. Wants the rear armor as well to kind of ensure this one.
No base detection, but he runs into the suppression, so that's a bit of a misplay.
Yeah, I don't know. The Fire Prism keeps kiting at this point, and the Looter Tank can't actually take another shot. The Fire Prism's going to take it down with a rear armor hit.
Needs to keep this one move. He retreats the knobs, though, so it's okay.
No,
The
Commando's just a retreat. That's rough.
There's the Gravity Blade and the rocks.
Has to be,
So he just retreats out of this. Yeah. Oh, Fire Prism almost gets hit by the edge of those. Actually gets his own commandos.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oopsies.
And the knobs too. Almost kills his own knobs. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is that another squad of? It is another squad of knobs.
Maybe thinking that like the knobs were just gonna go down if he didn't throw down rocks there. That was kind of still a weird play.
Yeah.
The fact that this Fire Prism survived twice on virtually nothing has been pretty awesome.
Did you lose his Dire Avengers? Oh no, they're here.
No, they're still chilling, so the repairs can come down, and with Crewfinity on 80 VPs, I think this one's over.
Yeah.
He's out of units.
I love that commando play, but if he just waited a little bit longer until he was out of the suppression of that base, then he would have been okay. His Avatar is still being really annoying.
Yeah, maybe thinking that there was actually enough damage from a single burst from the Commando squad to actually take out the Fire Prism, but it wasn't.
Hey, that's weird. You can't level up the Avatar. I wonder if that's because you can't level up the other epic units as well.
It's an Avatar. It's already max level.
Yeah. This the Gravity Blade again?
Yeah, Gravity Blade again. Yeah. Gives the Avatar free damage. Stops it from taking damage from the knobs.
Oh no, the knobs, Commando knobs rather. Didn't dodge that. Does a fair bit of damage.
Yeah, it's just disruption because that's going to be game. Like, GG, well played. 3 VPs in the hands of Angrathus. VP's extremely punishing. GG.
Man, that was so sick. Normally the Avatar isn't very good because he just gets kited and focused down. Normally just a lot of Fire Prisms is better and Seer Councils, but that Avatar works so well given not only the Farseer synergy, but the synergy with the Seer Council and just the overall, the VP situation is what I think was quite important. Is the Avatar didn't have to fully commit. He could just do some damage, run back, heal up, and that's what really allowed him to continuously have the VP lead is that the advertisers gave him so much map presence.
Yeah, definitely. Just so much disruption. That wipe under the knobs was pretty huge.
Yeah.
I think Crewfinity kind of got paid back in terms of RNG. He got so many special attacks early.
Yeah, that's true.
And he paid for it with losing things like the knobs and the looted tanks later on, and not killing the fire prism. And
yeah, and
clutch.
there was a few really key mistakes. That looted tank that went down to the Wraith Lord, that shouldn't have happened. And if that didn't happen, and that looted tank was still alive, that would have just been too much. Just looted tank spam, just completely zoning away Angrathus. So, GG, well played. That was a fun game. I do miss Dawn of War 2.
Yeah,
These replays are really fun.
Man, there's so much skill involved.
Yeah.
It's just that's probably the most enjoyable thing.
And there's just so much depth to all of these synergies. I think that's what the hero system does so well in Dawn of War 2 is because of all the different war gears. You have so many different synergies with different unit types, but especially when you look at team games, you have even more synergies. Yeah. There's a lot of depth to those abilities and those interactions, which is sort of what I felt like DoW3, the heroes really lacked. Not only were the abilities all free, but also
There's no interaction with other hero units, and there was no interaction with line units either.
It was just click here to kill stuff.
Exactly.
There wasn't really. There was a few of those abilities, like the Librarian, for example, but most of them were just really boring. So yeah, the heroes have done so well in this game, I think. But yeah, GG, well played. That'll wrap us up. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more Dawn of War 2 content, and if you do want to be a part of our little community, we have a Discord group now that we're launching publicly, so you join that if you want. Link will be in the description for that. And so yeah, catch you later.
Thanks guys. Cheers.